It was about time for Sony to create something new, something remarkable, something which would change the industry. After a series of okay flagship smartphones with a questionable design language and a lack of essential features, the Xperia XZ2 and its smaller brother the XZ2 Compact are a real piece of progress for Sony's mobile division. But can they stand tall among its tough competition from Oneplus, Samsung and Huawei? I'm Steven from TechMagnet, and today we are going to find it out. Both the Sony Xperia XZ2 and the XZ2 Compact have seen a move away from the flat-slapped omnibalance design Xperia devices have been associated with in the past to a curvier, rounder finish. Both have a curved back, but while the larger XZ2 opts for Corning Gorilla Glass on both in the front and the back, the smaller XZ2 Compact has a polycarbonate backside. Sony has implemented a state-of-the-art 18:9 screen to improve the display-to-body ratio, but still Sony didn't try to go completely bezel-less. Instead, there's plenty of chin on both the top and the bottom of the phone to also house the good-sounding dual speakers, which make the Xperia XZ2 feel a lot larger than it could be. But at least the dual speakers on the phones are sounding great, so listen for yourself. Another design change is the removal of the fingerprint sensor in the power button and moving it to the back of the phone. For my big hands, this feels very weird because I always end up pressing the camera lens on the XZ2. On the Compact series, it feels way better, so it's probably because the phone is way smaller and you will hold it in a different way. Now, the fingerprint scanner itself is very fast and reliable, so no complaints about it except of the weird placement. Now, like previous Sony smartphones, the XZ2 is rated for water resistance at IP68 of up to 1.5 meters. That means you can technically take the phone into the shower, play music or watch some movies. Both phones come with a notification LED at the top, a SIM and microSD card tray which you can open without tools, a really nice metal frame housing the power button, volume rockers, and my favorite one, the additional camera button, which really gives you the feeling of holding a DSLR camera in your hands. Now, what you won't find is a headphone jack, and Sony told me that they have not implemented it because the majority of people is already using wireless headphones. Now, I personally use the Sony MDR series, but to be honest, I'm not really happy with them, so $80 USD and the build quality is like what you've seen on $30 headphones, but the sound quality is very good. The display of the XZ2 series is very good for being an LCD display. It supports full HD plus resolution, HDR and is almost as bright as the S9's display. However, even though it's bright and offers HDR, it can't output the same contrast levels like an OLED display. Anyway, the biggest display upgrade on the XZ2 is the HDR support. The panel supports 10-bit colors and is also certified for the BT 2020 standard, making HDR movies a real pleasure to look at. Performance-wise, these devices do a good job. So Sony's compact models have always been small powerhouses like the larger brothers, and the XZ2 Compact is really no different. So like the XZ2, it runs on the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 platform, supported by 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage. Now, both phones run Android 8 with the usual Sony UI, which looks very close to stock Android, but it's also very easy to customize it and offers plenty of features in the settings. Unfortunately, as always with Sony smartphones, there is a tiny amount of bloat installed, but you can easily remove those applications. The battery life, to be honest, is really good. I'm getting around 6 to 6.5 hours of screen on time on both, which is for me okay. So the Xperia's XZ2 battery is much larger than its predecessors, 3180 mAh versus 2700, and also the compact version sports a larger 2870 mAh battery. Unfortunately, the XZ2 and XZ2 Compact are not among the fastest charging smartphones out there. In the box of the phones, there's a Quick Charge 3.0 compliant Sony Wall charger, but it still charged the phone slower than my P20 or S9. Both smartphones feature also a 19 megapixel memory stacked motion eye sensor, also found in the Sony Xperia XZ2. It has ISO 12800 for photos and ISO 4000 for videos, whilst also offering 960 fps of super slow motion full HD videos. Sony was the first to use this mode for video recording, and this feature has now progressed from 720p to 1080p. Once again demonstrating Sony's superiority when it comes to photographic hardware in the smartphone industry. Sony has also sold that technology to competitors like Samsung, which uses the Sony sensors in some of their smartphones. Now, while the super slow motion is the best in class and looks absolutely awesome, image quality wise, as always, Sony fails to surprise us. Now, Sony doesn't have any problems with poorly implemented hardware. The photo processing hardware is awesome enough and the sensor is capable of good shots, but the software is clearly inferior to that of Sony's competition. When I check what other companies can get out of Sony sensors, I'm always impressed and shocked at the same time. The pictures do look okay, very natural colors and depending on the scene, also really good sharpness, but it simply lags a bit behind. Also, the front-facing camera with only 5 megapixels maximum in photo free and not many modes isn't really impressive. HDR movies look really good, and if videos are more important than photos for you, then the XZ2 series doesn't perform too bad at all in my opinion. However, a dual camera would have been nice. There is absolutely no depth mode except that software bokeh mode, which works really okay, but in my opinion it can't replace a good depth dual camera setup. Now here are some sample videos to check out the video quality. Hey guys, so greetings from my garden here in the beautiful Vienna. This is a side-by-side comparison between the XZ2 Compact and the XZ2. So let's walk a little bit around. So currently HDR recording is on, and well, as you can see, stabilization in 4K looks quite good, to be honest. So much better than on my P20 Pro. And yeah, just check this out here, beautiful sky. So I've already pointed out in the comparison with the P20 Pro that for videos I would really choose the XZ2. And yeah, for pictures the P20 Pro is just really awesome, especially for low light shots. So well, as you can see, side-by-side comparison looks pretty much the same because they feature exactly the same camera tech. So guys, there we go, quick front-facing camera comparison between the XZ2 and XZ2 Compact. So sorry I look a bit wasted, I did drink too much yesterday, but well, check this out. So it's actually quite smooth. Now the front-facing camera is really not the best on both smartphones, but the recordings, they look quite smooth with acceptable dynamic range, colors and sharpness, and well, that's a front-facing camera on the XZ2 and XZ2 Compact. Now performance-wise, these phones are great, so we have very powerful hardware, there is no difference between the Compact and the bigger brother, and all the games run really well. So I could play Asphalt 8, PUBG, Nova and many more without any lags, even at the same time, so in the memory. Now the Snapdragon 845 is really a great chipset, and in my opinion 4 gigs of RAM are mostly enough. There's also this new dynamic vibration mode to enhance your media experience. This is a very cool feature, but for me it's personally more a gimmick. It's nothing that I would classify as a groundbreaking technology. Connectivity wise, I had absolutely no issues on the phones, great overall signal quality and also Wi-Fi performance really good on both. Now all in all, I think the XZ2 and especially the XZ2 Compact are really great phones, but there is still a huge gap between them and the flagships out there. So in comparison with most of the other flagships, the XZ2 is lower priced and offers a solid flagship experience, but it falls a bit short on image quality, new features and design. So I really hope that you guys have enjoyed my review. If you did, please like this video, and if you want to see more, please subscribe, that would help a lot. So I'm Steven from TechMagnet, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a nice day, bye bye.